I love the AYN Thor. It's a lovely little handheld that has 2 screens, a great small fun form factor, plays great games, and it's also the actual Norse god of thunder. That's what it told me at least.
Kneel, mortal, and be judged worthy.
I already told you, I'm not kneeling to a handheld.
Then lift me and prove your strength.
Dude, you weigh like 380 grams. Relax.
Let your hands tremble under my might.
I'm not shaky because I'm lifting you. I have a thyroid condition.
Then we ride for battle. Point me to the beast called Thyroid. I shall slay it and mount its head upon the gates of Asgard.
It's a gland inside my body. Don't slay anything, please. Hey there, how's it going? I'm TechDweeb, welcome. Thanks for clicking on the video today. If you had asked me like a few months ago about dual screen Android handhelds, I would have been hesitant to recommend them because the idea of running dual screen stuff didn't match the reality of dual screens. It was a lot more janky than I think most people would have been willing to tolerate. However, we have come a long way in a very short time. In a matter of just weeks, we have dual screen support from basically every emulator you could want, 3DS, DS, and Wii U, and the growing pains of the device front ends have more or less been sorted out, and now it's a really nice experience. Which brings us to this, the AYN Thor.
Use my proper name, mortal.
Oh, right. Which brings us to this, the AYN Thor, son of Odin, forged in the golden fires of Asgard, wielder of Mjolnir, guardian of the Bifrost, sworn enemy of the foul serpent Jormungandr, defender of the 9 realms, and champion of glorious combat eternal.
That's better. Thank you, TechDweeb.
Hey, proper title. Let's go.
That's better, the Dweebinator 7000 supreme ruler of radical awesome muscles that girls want to smooch.
Yeah, that's right. As soon as I got this, it quickly became my latest addiction. This was sent to me by AYN to review, however I didn't actually know if they were going to send me one, so I also ordered one, and this review unit is the exact same one that I ordered, the Rainbow Pro version. But instead of canceling my order, I actually upgraded my order to the Max version, because I want the best version of the Thor. I like it that much. That should give you an idea of what I'm feeling about this thing. And if it doesn't, then you're just not very smart, probably. The Thor comes in several different configurations. There's a light version which has a Snapdragon 865. That'll be the same performance as the Retroid Pocket 5. And the other versions have a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which will give you the same performance as the Odin 2. They all have a 6-inch 1080p OLED screen up top with a 120Hz refresh rate, and the bottom screen is a 3.92-inch OLED screen. 1080 by 1240 resolution, and that's just 60 Hz. By the way, you're going to see some kind of like flickering, moving lines on the screen in this video. That's just a problem with my my camera filming OLED screens. It doesn't look like that in real life. All versions also have a 6,000 mAh battery, support 27-watt charging, and are running Android 13. You'll get between 8 GB and 16 GB of RAM and 128 GB to 1 TB of storage, depending on which version you get.
So you sought greater power.
I sought more Game Boy Advance games.
Endless hunger. I respect it.
I also downloaded Doom 37 times.
Truly, you walk the path of a warrior.
The light version is $250, which is a fine price, and if you don't care about top-end performance, you'll probably be happy with that if you want to save some money. However, I do think it's worth considering the base version for an extra $50 to get that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 performance. So the base is $300, and the Pro is $350, and the Max is $430, and you'll pay shipping on top of that. Real quick, I need to show you what I did with my buttons. These retro colorway buttons aren't available on the official Thor. I don't care for the rainbow buttons, so I just painted my buttons. I've made tutorials on how to do this, which you should watch if you're thinking about trying this. Basically, I tore this thing apart and I had to dig through the stuff inside to get to the buttons. The way that I do the painting is I sand down my surfaces with some fine sandpaper to give it sort of a rougher surface, and then I mask off the areas that I want to get painted. I gave the red and the black buttons 2 coats each with lots of drying time between the coats. And then when they were completely dry, I masked off the rubber at the bottom and I gave them a few layers of this matte top coat. Watch my video if you want to know how to do this and not screw it up. And then I put it back together and there it is. It's my homemade retro version of the Thor. It looks pretty good, if I do say so myself.
I did not know it was possible to feel this handsome.
Are you crying?
No, a warrior does not cry. He leaks glory from his eyes.
I also swapped the thumbstick caps. It came with these Switch style caps, but I swapped them for the other style of caps that came with my Odin 2 Portal. Did a bit of a stick cap shuffle there. Overall, I'm honestly kind of blown away at how good this thing looks and feels. I know some people don't like the all glass tops, but I think it looks great and it all just adds a premium vibe. I also really like the hand feel of the materials. The plastic and the controls, it just feels lovely. The size definitely struck me. I wasn't expecting this to be as small as it is. I'm coming to this from the AYN DS, so I think I was just thinking it would be a bit smaller than that, but it is way smaller. This thing is only a little bit bigger than the Retroid Flip 2. It's small and compact and dense, and the premium feel along with the size makes this feel just like a super high quality fun toy, which is what it is, and yeah, it feels like that too. The screen folds down onto this little platform in the middle, so there's actually a decent sized gap here around the sides. This has never been a problem for me just using it and carrying it around the house, but I haven't taken this thing on a trip to Japan or anything, so your mileage may vary. And obviously, one of the best benefits to a flippy screen doodad is that it's super portable. Let's see how it does in the pocket. Yeah, right. Let me guess. No matter what I do, you're gonna yell at me. No. Why would you even say that? Because you yell at me in like every video. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't, you pathetic loser.
By Odin's beard, enough with this bickering. Pocket me now before I smite the both of you.
Should I? Yeah, just do what he says. He's not kidding. Right. Okay, so yeah, it's good in the pocket. It's not super small and insignificant or anything, but it's definitely on the pocketable spectrum. Right, pocket test guy? Yeah, it's good.
The pocket realm is a place of warmth and darkness.
Thanks? There are very few objective ways to explain whether or not something feels good. I find that I often enjoy things that other people don't like, and vice versa. So with that in mind, I'll say that I don't agree with lots of the feedback I've read and heard that this thing feels cramped or uncomfortable. I have zero issues gaming on it, whether I'm using the D-pad or the stick or dual sticks, retro games, modern games, streaming, first and third person shooters. I can play it all and have a great time. But some people genuinely don't find it super comfy to game on for certain types of games, which is fair. If that's true for them, I'm not going to say they're wrong. It's just not true for me. However, even for me, I got to admit that when using the grip, this thing is a lot more comfy. So if you tend to find more condensed devices too cramped, then definitely consider getting the grip because it does make it feel more like a full-sized controller type of controls, rather than little handheld controls. The actual controls are great. Great D-pad, clicky micro switch style, the buttons are membrane, clicky bumpers but not too loud, and hall sticks and triggers. Like, they're great controls. Perfect actually. Zero complaints from me.
Would you expect anything less from Thor, the god of lightning and thunder?
I don't know what I was expecting, but yeah, pretty good buttons and stuff.
Feel the earth tremble under the power of my thunder.
Oh right, that reminds me. Decent haptics too, but you can turn off the vibration in the settings if you don't like it.
Oh, that's no fun.
Let's start the screen discussion with the hinge. And as always, my caveat is that I don't know if this hinge will be good or bad in the long run. But my impressions right now are that this is a great hinge. It has a nice firm but smooth movement, it snaps into 3 positions, and it does wiggle and flop around when you shake it, but you have to shake it pretty hard to get it to do that. And that's actually probably a good thing because that means that the screen isn't very stiff, and that might mean that it doesn't snap or crack as easy. But time will tell, as always. As for the actual screens, these screens are flippin' incredible.
Pun intended.
These are both OLED, and I am just in love with these screens. I love the super bright, saturated colors and dark inky blacks. I love how bright they are so you can play outside during the day, and they get nice and dim so you can play this in bed at night when it's dark and the monsters come out. And they'll all be super jealous about your dual screen retro handheld before they eat your toes.
Rest easy, my friend. I will protect your toes.
Okay, that's good. Thanks. The top screen is 6 inches, and I think this is a great size considering how pocketable this thing is. Also, this is 1080p, 120Hz refresh rate, so you can get high FPS games like Android games or PC streaming or Game Hub, and black frame insertion for your retro games if you're into that stuff. This screen down here is the same screen we have on the AYN DMG and the Retroid Pocket Mini and the Retroid Pocket Classic, and I think the general consensus is that everyone loves this screen. It's great for all retro stuff, but it's extra good for the more square ratio stuff, like Game Boy, Neo Geo Pocket, and also NES and Super Nintendo. I don't know if most people will be doing a ton of gaming on this screen. I intend to, but I'm not sure if others will, but it's a great screen, and I love that it's OLED, just like the top screen, so the whole device has consistent visuals. We have Android 13 on here, and there's not much to report there. You get some proprietary stuff like the Odin launcher and also some Thor-specific stuff in the system settings. But really the main thing I want to talk about with the system is how they handle the dual screen stuff. By default, there's an Android launcher on both screens, and if you launch a game up here, it starts on the top screen, and if you launch a game down here, it'll launch on the bottom screen. You can also long press on an app to pick which screen it launches on. The best tool that we have is right here. This AYN button opens the quick settings, and there's some simple but very useful stuff in here. The first tab lets you change which display is on. You can also adjust the brightness together and independently, and you can also independently change the volume of whatever's on either screen. That's super useful if you want to like watch YouTube or listen to music while you play a game and you want to fine-tune the volume depending on which screen you're focused on. This task button just opens the task manager, and settings is this control panel area down here. You can toggle the FPS mode, 120Hz or 60Hz. Now, there is some quirks with this. Basically, if you set the top screen at 120Hz, the bottom screen will get doubled 60Hz, and that will result in screen tearing on the bottom screen, which is noticeable when you're looking for it, but it's not a big deal most of the time. Or you can set the top screen to 60Hz so they both match, and that gets rid of the screen tearing. However, the quirk that I noticed is that Asgard has some pretty substantial input delay when it's running at 60Hz, and 120Hz fixes that. I don't know if that's something they'll be able to fix in the software, but I've just been leaving the top screen at 120Hz because then I don't have to worry about that input delay, and also I've been enjoying running PC games at high FPS. You also get some easy access to performance mode toggles, fan speed, and you can toggle which screen gets the input of your controls. The default is whatever screen you tapped on last will get your input, but I like to just set it to the top screen as the input screen. Then I can use my finger to tap stuff on the bottom screen and not have to be changing back and forth. This setup is just awesome for multitasking, like having a game up top and a browser or video on the bottom. It's one of my favorite things about dual screen devices, just how convenient having two screens is.
Two screens, two realms, forever divided, yet bound by purpose.
Yeah, like YouTube and Darkwing Duck at the same time.
Even Odin the Allfather never dared to multitask so boldly.
Yeah, I'm pretty great at this, huh? As for gaming, I'm not going to do a ton of deep analysis here about the performance for 3 good reasons. 1, I want to do a deep dive on the performance once I get the max version. Specifically, I want to show PC emulation with Game Hub, and I'm going to compare the Pro and the Max in that video. 2, both the Snapdragon 865 and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 have been benchmarked to death in videos about the Retroid Pocket 5 and the Odin 2. And 3, I'm lazy, and I want to finish this video so I can go back to playing Mega Bonk on Game Hub while watching my own videos and laughing at my own dumb jokes. I mean, you can play so much on here. Almost anything you could want to do. Basically, every GameCube and PS2 game can be played perfectly, upscaled to 1080p with widescreen cheats, and most will play at the lowest power profile, so you get a ton of battery life. The device does get warm, as you'd expect when you're running with a powerful chip, and you can feel that heat in your fingers, around back, and on the lower screen area. The fans do keep it cool, and the internal temperature never gets like crazy high or anything, but it's something you'll notice when you're pushing it. When it comes to how much RAM and storage you're going to want, it really depends on what you'll be playing. 8 gigabytes of RAM will be fine for most GameCube and PS2, and most Switch too. But if you want to push the limits of Switch emulation or PC emulation, you'll want the Pro version with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. Storage is important for PC emulation because the PC games can't be stored on the SD card right now. So that 1 terabyte of storage on the Max is appealing to me for that reason. But really, if you're just doing a bit of PC emulation, the Pro version will probably be fine for you. Obviously, you're not going to be playing the latest and greatest AAA PC games, but I am continuously impressed with how much actually runs on here. And I've learned a lot about the settings that you can tweak using GameHub to get some incredible performance. That's what I'm going to show you in my performance video when I get my max version. As for dual screen stuff, like I said earlier, the world of dual screen Android has come so far in such a short time. We're at the point where DS and 3DS just works. You got Melon DS for DS emulation, and the performance is perfect, obviously. You can upscale every DS game to full 1080p and run every game on the lowest power profile with zero issues. And it's all so fun to play on here. Honestly, if you've been kind of sleeping on DS emulation because dual screen gaming hasn't been great yet, now is the time. Get yourself a stylus and yeah, you'll be good to go. And for 3DS, we got Asgard, and that'll just work. You launch your 3DS games and it instantly knows what to do with the second screen. They'll launch and run just like you would expect them to. I have completely fallen in love with 3DS emulation. Asgard is so freaking good now. And oh my god, these games look incredible on these OLED screens. I've shown the Thor to a few people and they've all been like, oh yeah, that's kind of neat. And then I fire up 3DS and they see how it looks upscaled and working perfectly on beautiful dual OLED screens. And every single one of them has pooped their pants right there and then. True story. It's actually been rather inconvenient, to be honest. Wii U is the only dual screen application that isn't really great yet. First, not a ton of stuff runs properly, and the stuff that does work, you can do the dual screen thing, but for those games that can make use of the Wii U gamepad with touchscreen, the touchscreen stuff is kind of broken right now. Your taps don't line up with the stuff that you're tapping on the screen. It's like the ratio is wrong and it's all offset kind of thing. This is a very early build of Cemu with dual screen support, so I expect this will be fixed soon, but it doesn't work great right now, unless there's something I missed.
Loki! That wretched trickster has cursed the calibration.
Oh yeah? You think the trickster god is spending time making Cemu glitchy?
He delights in chaos. First the gods, now touch inputs.
So what, he's out there making sneaky pull requests on GitHub or something?
His treachery runs deep.
I know I'm like one of the last reviews out of the gate because AYN sent this to the other reviewers first. I only just got this, which is fine, but I feel like everyone has been gushing about this thing for a few weeks, and now it's my turn. It's just such a little powerhouse that can run so much stuff, and a lovely flippy screen form factor, and the dual screen stuff that opens up the world of DS and 3DS emulation, and also just the convenience of having two screens to do multiple things at once. I have a feeling this is going to be a very popular device. Maybe it's not going to be for everyone with the dual flippy screen form factor, but for those of you who like this sort of thing, you'll probably really like the Thor. I really do love this thing, and I'm excited to finish this video so I can get back to playing with it.
You have it backwards, mortal. It is I, Thor, a god, who is playing with you.
That doesn't make sense. You can't like play 3DS games on my flesh or whatever.
Can't I?
No?
You win this round, mortal. Ow.